With the growing concern of pollution and the rising environmental challenges, more and more companies are taking initiative to help curb pollution and contribute to cleaning up our oceans and waterways. One such automotive manufacturer has decided to team up with the world's leading organization in this effort. Kia has partnered with the Ocean Cleanup, an ocean trash pickup and recycling company, in order to better the world and implement recycled materials into their future vehicles. To help us understand more about this collaboration between Kia and the Ocean Cleanup, Automotive News executive editor Jamie Butters, who last month got to explore one of Ocean Cleanup's trash collecting machines in Los Angeles, will help us understand more about this collaboration between Kia and the Ocean Cleanup. Jamie, what can you tell us about this partnership?
Yeah, I think Kia is trying to take in, a full global view of the problem. It's not just about changing your inputs if you can also reduce the negative outcomes. So, part of this, a lot of this really started with trying to pull plastics out of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, as it's called, this giant part of the ocean that has all these plastic pieces that are starting to break down. And part of the concern, right, is if the plastics break down, they get into the fish and into the food supply and then into, human bodies all throughout the world. So, part of it is trying to, make cars in a cleaner way, but it's also really about addressing the full global system of, water and food and what we breathe. The project we saw in Los Angeles is kind of a smaller piece. They're trying to capture the plastic and garbage that comes out of the 1,000 most polluting rivers. That's the goal. I think they're in like 10 of them now. This river in Los Angeles is not one of the worst polluting rivers, but of course it was handy for people in the media like me, like us, so that we could come see a demonstration of how this works. And it really tries to catch the stuff that's flowing from the rivers out to the ocean, and do it in a way kind of just skimming what's off the top so that, sea lions and fish and turtles can, go under it if they need to, or some of them even go over the top. But it lets them, not get trapped in this while they're, catching the garbage before it even gets out to the ocean.
Now let's dive into the vehicle itself. Jamie, can you tell us more about the specific Kia vehicle that's going to use these recycled plastics and how it fits into Kia's sustainability goals?
The EV9 is going to be the first electric vehicle coming from Kia that's going to use these recycled plastics. Kia has a goal to increase its use of recycled plastic by more than 20% by 2030 and reach total carbon neutrality by 2045. So this is an important piece of that. Certainly, there probably are easier ways to recycle plastic than fishing it out of the ocean, but that really gets at taking the plastic out from where it can maybe do the most damage. The aim is to include about 75 pounds of recycled plastic or bio-based eco-friendly materials. That's Kia's goal. That sounds like a lot. It is a pretty good amount, although currently, the average Kia vehicle has about 440 pounds of plastic in it. So it's an important step, but it's not a full solution. For one of the first projects, Kia received a load of 55 tons of plastic from the Ocean Cleanup and from one haul out of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That's really a lot. It makes a big difference, but it is just like, what's the saying? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The Ocean Cleanup estimates that about 1.1 million tons of new plastic trash goes into the world's oceans every year. So 55 tons is a lot. It's a good amount to take out, but it's, a drop in the bucket. The Ocean Cleanup has a goal of removing 90% of ocean plastic by 2040. It's a huge task. And, we're not going to get there with, one 3-row EV at a time. But what's important, the Kia partnership helps, return some money and some value back to the Ocean Cleanup to help it fund its own operations and keep getting better at getting plastic out and keeping plastic from getting into the ocean. again, long journey, early days, but to have a partner, have a corporate partner like this is really useful for a startup, a nonprofit startup like the Ocean Cleanup.